Good morning. I am making some steel cut oats for breakfast this morning, so I just have a bit of butter in my pot. I am going to turn that element on, and then when the butter is melted, I am just going to add a cup of these steel cut oats. My steel cut oats are in there now, so I'm just going to stir those around. You want them to have a nice nutty smell, and that's when you know you're ready to add your liquids. Now I am going to add, I've got here 3 cups of water and then 1 cup of milk. And I'm also going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Then I'm gonna give this a good stir and turn my temperature up because I want to bring this just to a light boil. Okay, we've got just a very light boil. I just want this to simmer. So I'm going to turn my temperature down a bit, quite a bit. We don't want it to boil over. I'm gonna put my lid on. This is a bit of a time-consuming breakfast to make. It's not hard, but it takes a bit of time because I'm not using quick steel cut oats. So I want this to simmer for about 20 minutes now. I will come and stir it a couple times in those 20 minutes. You'll have to forgive me being out of breath because I'm doing a HIIT workout in between making breakfast, but that's looking really good. And so I now have a banana here. I'm just gonna slice this up, put it into my oats. Whew, I need a deep breath. And then this will go for 10 more minutes. I like to cut it in half lengthwise first, just to make nice small pieces of banana. Okay, the very last step now is just to stir in some strawberries. If I had fresh strawberries, which would be even better, I would just stir them in and then just serve. But because these ones are frozen, they're gonna have to sit a little bit longer, but I'm just gonna turn my element off. I'm gonna stir these in and then just put the lid on and then just come back, and in a couple minutes those should be all defrosted. Okay, my breathing has slowed down a little bit now, although I feel like my hand's a little bit shaky trying to film. But this is a finished look at breakfast. This breakfast, oh, it's so good. Hopefully you were able to follow along as I gave the step-by-step instructions, but I will try to link a recipe down in the comments or down in the description below as well. I haven't used a recipe for this for a long time, so I think I'm following it correctly. I found a recipe online for this years ago, and so now I don't look at a recipe, but I think I did it correctly. I don't know if filming the making of this oatmeal threw me off or what, but I forgot that I usually add sugar while I am cooking this. So normally in that step where I add the milk, the water, and the salt, I also add about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I don't know how I missed that today, but I took a couple bites and was like, wait, something is missing. So normally I would just add it as I'm cooking it, and then we don't need to add it individually later, but today we're just adding sugar. It's a little while later, but I'm cleaned up enough, willing to show my face, and I just poured myself my first cup of coffee for the day. I just remembered that I think it was last week where I said I have a smoothie every day for breakfast. Very rarely I have something different, but when I make this steel cut oats recipe, I don't just make it for the family and have something different. If I'm making this meal for the family, I definitely have some too, because it is such a good breakfast recipe. I'm just gonna get some lunch together here, so we're just gonna have toast. I have just the tail end of a loaf of sourdough bread here. I grabbed this out of the freezer, and then I like to have my sandwiches on this bread. It's a sprouted loaf of bread. We've got ham, cheese. I wish we had tomatoes, but we're out of tomatoes right now. We'll do some onions and some lettuce, and then I'll also chop up a cucumber to have on the side. We all like mayonnaise, and then most of us like mustard as well, so it's pretty easy. Most everybody likes the same stuff on their sandwiches. Probably only Elijah and I will have the onion. Here's our lunch lineup. I started the kids just a half sandwich, and we'll see how they do. If they want more after, we can definitely make more, but they've just got their sandwiches and cucumbers. Hopefully I remember whose is whose, with who has mustard and not. And this one is mine. These pieces of bread are pretty small, so I just made myself a sandwich and a half, and that is today's lunch. Well, that was a delicious, delicious sandwich. And now I am just on to my second cup of coffee for today. I just have cream in my coffee, no sugar. I used to drink sugar in my coffee, or that sounds funny, I used to put sugar in my coffee, then gradually worked on dropping that. Now I have just cream. I could never go back to putting sugar in my coffee. It's just gross now that I'm used to having coffee with just cream. I am going to put dinner into the Instant Pot. I am making a ground beef and baked beans sauce. So nothing really needs to be cooked. I even have just some ground beef that I cooked a couple days ago. I did like a double batch. So this is super easy. I just need to put that into the crock pot. Then I put in our baked beans. Nothing really needs to be cooked. It really just needs to be warmed up. But when I have it, I'll put it onto the slow cook setting, and then just whenever we're ready for dinner, it'll be hot and I can serve it. Once we get closer to dinner time, I will also cook up some rice and some veggies. So it's only mid-afternoon. We haven't had snack yet, but I am so hungry. I am going to actually drink this. This is one of my favorite sparkling waters, this one. Where's the English side? You can see here, it is cream soda flavor. So I'm gonna drink that, try to just quickly get supper going so that I can figure out what we're gonna have for snack. This is a super easy recipe for the baked beans. I will put a link down in the description where you can check out that recipe. It's really just ground beef, baked beans. I usually do peppers, but I'm out of peppers. I'm gonna do an onion, just some ketchup, mustard, Worcestershire sauce. I know I've said this before and people in the comments say, here's how you pronounce it. Worcestershire. Did I get it? Worcestershire. I think that's how you say it. The recipe I use calls for 2 cans of baked beans and about half a cup of ground beef. I probably used a cup or a pound and a half of ground beef and 3 cans of baked beans. So I think the recipe is like, ooh, very much like baked beans with a little bit of beef in it. Mine definitely is more beefy, but it should be really good. I'm saying it should be good. We've had this recipe a lot of times and it is. It is delicious. So I'm just going to put that on slow cook. Here's what I pulled out for snack. So I just got this fruit cocktail can. I love like pineapple or any fruit with cottage cheese. It's so good, but a lot of my kids aren't fans of cottage cheese, and so I got out just some Greek yogurt too, if they want that instead. I'm sure I'll have a couple kids that will be like, can I just have the fruit? And no dairy, and that's okay too. And then I also just got out a box of these cookies, these maple cookies. So maybe not the healthiest snack, but I guess that's what happens when I'm like, I am so hungry, I just need something right now. So that's what we're having. Okay, doesn't that look so good with the cottage cheese? I normally will eat up a whole tub of cottage cheese just by having it in my smoothie, but I do love it with fruit as well. So let me know down in the comments below. Do you like cottage cheese? How do you eat it? I know some people will just eat it straight up. Not for me, but like this, so good. I've been walking around, hey Wesley, he's gone. I've been walking around with his coffee and I don't remember if I showed you that I'm onto my 3rd coffee. I don't think I did. So, onto my 3rd coffee. I am just getting, oh Simeon, did you want to say hi? Does anybody want to say hi? I am just getting water on the stove top so that I can cook up some rice to go with our supper. Wesley's back. Wesley, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Yes.
Come here. Say hi.
Hi.
He just had a really good play outside, didn't you?
Yeah.
What book did you bring? Is Simeon gonna read that to you?
No, we putting the books down inside.
You're gonna push the books down the slide?
Yeah.
Outside?
No,
Okay.
inside.
Okay, I don't know what slide you're talking about, but...
The blanket side.
Oh, a blanket slide.
Yeah,
Now,
that's why Okay, I put these books down.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Dinner is ready, so we've got our baked beans. I cooked up some corn, and then I also cooked up some rice. I have some very hyper boys in behind me here. And then I also have the oven on because I've got some bread baking in there. That's not for today. Wesley, that's not for today, but this is for dinner tonight. Why are you boys so crazy? They've been playing together all day. I love seeing like the different relationships that form, and today it's been these two boys together all day. Yes, you guys have just been scheming and going outside and playing together and making big plans to play. That's really nice.
Asking from those people because I don't like her, and he isn't a person.
Oh, okay.
He's just a snowman.
He's a snowman. I like to serve this meal in bowls because it's perfect to eat with a spoon. A little bit messy and hard to just pick up all the individual pieces of corn and rice, so a spoon just works perfectly for this meal. But there's dinner. Thank you for watching today's video. I think we're good. I don't think I'm gonna eat anything else after dinner here. If I change my mind, you'll see it tagged on to the end. But I think I'm good. I think I'll just have a glass of water tonight and that's it. So I have kids coming to join my video. They always want to say goodbye. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing some meal ideas. And I'll see you guys in my next video. If you want to see more full day of food videos, subscribe to my channel. Yes. I do post these every Wednesday. We'll see you next time.
Bye.